Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learn back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Cancer July 2020 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, well, first thing up is as far as July goes, Mars is going to be in Aries in the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, a situation with the dominant parent, authority figures, supervisors, maybe a little bit more contentious and acrimonious, more so than usual at this time. It could, in some cases, it might actually be physical confrontations with these people, because you're talking about Mars being in its dignity, it's in volatile Aries. So just be careful at this time, Cancer. And also too, there might be a lot of energy and vitality you might be injecting into Aries, like career related matters such as like firefighting or welding, doing something like surgery, leadership, management position. Maybe it could even be teaching like a combative sport like karate or judo or boxing. And also too, you might be showing a lot of mechanical skill, more so than usual, in your career. And it's also could manifest a lot of aggressive and assertive action in attaining success, a position of authority, matters pertaining to your career, improving your stature in life, and also perhaps gaining some notoriety and recognition at this time. So anyway, well, next thing up, Jupiter will be in Capricorn still, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, it could be very fortuitous at this time for relationships. It could be business connections at this time. It could be the expansion of business connection, but also it could be very beneficial and positive for emerging victorious in lawsuits at this time. It could be over something political or business related matter, or even something with dentistry, anything that could be Capricorn related at this time. And also too, keep in mind though that Jupiter can be rather paradoxical. It could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. In some cases, this can enlarge and expand responsibilities to a significant other, a marriage partner, even a grandmother in some cases, and even matters dealing with open adversaries as well. Remember, Jupiter could also be connected with sports, so it could be doing something Capricorn's sports related. That's something associated with Capricorn in a competitive manner. It could be something like with mountain climbing as an example. But at the same time too, that keep in mind that Jupiter, Jupiter is about publishing as well. So it could be about publishing something Capricorn related in which you collaborate with someone else on. It could be something connected with dentistry, accounting, architecture, something with business, politics, something associated with the government, or even information technology. And also injecting a lot, and it could also be very lucky for things that are premeditated and planned as far as a significant other goes, relationships, your matters with others, doing things with other people at this time. So anyway, well, next thing up, Saturn will be in Capricorn for almost the entire month, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could manifest in a number of ways. Well, one way it could manifest that you might find yourself taking care of a sickly or debilitated significant other or a grandmother. It could be somebody that you might be in a business partnership with. This could also, and it may be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings, maybe making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy at this time. But on a positive note, it could also be about gaining structure and discipline in matters with your relationships at this time, or things of a competitive nature, and also about having very disciplined negotiations at this time as well. But you may be experiencing some restrictions and limitations in your relationships at this time, and also some despondency, maybe some sadness in matters in dealing with open adversaries or even lawsuits at this time, Cancer. So And another thing is too, if you're unattached at this time, Cancer, you might find yourself getting involved or even marrying an older person. It could be a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Capricorn characteristics. And also too, this is about Saturn can be about responsibilities as well. So you might find yourself having to have more responsibility than usual in matters pertaining. It could be to lawsuits, to legal matters, matters with a grandmother, a significant other, others in general, and also matters perhaps connected with negotiations at this time. So anyway. Well, the next thing up is Uranus will still be in Taurus, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, Cancer, you might find yourself being involved with Uranus-like goals and aspirations. It could be something with astrology or aerospace, astronomy, esoteric subjects, humanitarianism, innovation, computers, electronics. You might be dealing with certain erratic and sporadic, even unusual behavior from friends, acquaintances, even stepchildren, if applicable. It could also manifest in some cases about dealing Taurus friendships. They could be Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurian traits. And even Taurus astrologers might be figure more prominently in your goals, your aspirations, your future, and matters with groups, clubs, and organizations. And also too, this could also be about really at this time as well. You might be dealing with some idiosyncratic behavior from friends, from acquaintances, people in groups, clubs, organizations. You might also, at this time, be doing something where you might join a Uranus-like group. It could be some astrology group or astronomy or something with computers, electronics, innovation, new ideas, anything that could be Uranus related at this time. So anyway, and also at this time, when you look at this too, if you're making money from business at this time, Cancer, it might be a little bit unpredictable. You might be dealing with a lot of fluctuation, considering we are talking, 11th house could be about money from a business if you are involved in a business. And it can be where you might have a lot of fluctuation in this and that, and the money might be very erratic and sporadic and unpredictable at this time. So anyway, well, Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for you, Cancer, you might find at this time where you might be doing something Neptune related as far as higher education goes. It could be doing something with poetry or dancing or photography, the metaphysical, which includes astrology. Um, it could be doing something with chemistry, anesthesiology, anything Neptune related. If you're taking long journeys, they may be by sea at this time as well. And you might be also have to guard against dealing with fallacious prophets at this time, or maybe being involved in a religious congregation where things are not quite what they seem, where there's a lot of deception, duplicity. There may be some false doctrines that might be or might be connected with it at this time. And also, too, you might find yourself also dealing with more deceptive and duplicitous in-laws and grandchildren, if applicable, at this time. Uh, Cancer. And the thing about this too is, and you might also find yourself dealing with something as far as publishing goes. You may also get involved with something Neptune related as far as publishing goes. It could be something, again, like something with photography or chemistry, or maybe even writing something that's fictional at this time, something that's fantastical. It could be writing about, again, something published connected with poetry or chemistry or photography, or writing something about the sea at this time. Anything that could be Neptune related at this time. And you might also find yourself at this time as well I mean, Neptune energy can also be about idealism. So this could be a time for you, Cancer, where you might be very idealistic about expanding horizons. But remember not to be unrealistic as far as this goes. And remember, a lot of this, whether you're more idealistic or whether it's unrealistic, can be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made to points in your chart. An adverse aspect to your natal Jupiter might really be very extreme idealism to the point where it's unrealistic. So anyway, hold on a moment, people. Last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the seventh house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could manifest in a number of ways for you, Cancer. You might find yourself at this time, I mean, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to anyway. Some cases, this could manifest in the actual or literal death of a grandmother, a significant other, a marriage partner. This could also be about transformation, perhaps through marriage or relationships at this time. Also, too, if you may find yourself getting involved in some kind of Plutonian competition. If it's sports, it could be extreme sports. And I say, well, facetiously, I'm going to say this could be about power of attorney as well, but I'm only being flippant and joking, of course. But anyway, you might be involved too, dealing with very powerful open adversaries at this time. If you're involved in any lawsuits, it could be something Pluto related, such as something with insurance or something with recycling, a shared resources situation. Sometimes it may even be a wrongful death suit. Remember, we're talking about Pluto is associated with death. And remember too, at this time, Cancer, that Pluto energy could be about where we expect infallibility. So you might be anticipating some perfection or like an outcome in connection with negotiations, or maybe a contract, or something that is connected in your relationships this time. And guard against being very overly domineering and controlling in relationships and matters with a grandmother in some cases as well. So and this could also, remember that Pluto can be about figurative endings and about obliteration, where Saturn will restrict. Pluto can just flat out destroy and obliterate. So if you are married, there's a greater chance it could come to an end at this time, and it could be just a complete, obliteration. There's no turning back and also just in your relationships in general. Pluto is very transforming, so you might be going through some upheavals with your relationships at this time, Cancer. It's kind of like you end one connection, but then it might be replaced. What is that, like the electron atom theory or something? One out, one in, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Leonard saying stay well.